Five, four, three, two, one, boom! What's up, champions? Welcome to Getting Real with Réal, where we ask the question, do we want it or are we just talking about it? Where we get raw, real, authentic, and brutally honest so that we can be the best version of ourselves. Welcome back. It's Coach Réal, your host of Getting Real with Réal. And you know what, champions? This episode is really dear to my heart because you hear me say all the time, there is no such word as cant. And my dad instilled that into me at a very young age. And this is really going to not only talk about the power of that, but the science behind it. There's actually science behind this, guys. And I'll give you a hint. Hypnosis. Check this out. All right, champions. As you know, this is one of my most favorite philosophies I live by. No such word as cant. This was instilled at a very young age by my dad. But I want to share a few things with you because this is the God drop that I wanted to give you from a scientific point of view. So I'm sure you've all heard of hypnosis, but really when you get down into the nitty-gritty of it, or the science behind it, it really comes down to the lack of belief. And it's like, as this was instilled in me at a very young age, there's also the other counterproductive things that are instilled in us, like you're not good at math, you're ugly, you're not as smart as the others, you're not as pretty as the others, you're not athletic, you're not, whatever these negative beliefs that are instilled in us. And they're actually a state of hypnosis, okay? It's actually scientifically, we are being hypnotized that we're ugly, we're, not smart, we'll never be good at this, you'll never meet a man, you'll never meet a wife, you're going to be just like your father. You're going to be just like your mother. You're going to be, and being in a negative connotation. So you're actually being hypnotized and you buy into it and you start to believe it. And when you believe it, then guess what? That's what you'll become. And, what is that in the middle of the path right now as I'm walking in the blackness? Holy crap, what is that? Dude, that scared the hell out of me, dude. I don't know what that was. A bobcat or something. It was bigger than a rabbit, but smaller than a cougar. It might have been a little bobcat. But anyways. Okay, so to give you another example, okay, there's a story of, there's so many stories I can give you that will exemplify this. I know there was a story once of a man, it's a true story. He came from parts of Africa, and this woman said she was going to put a voodoo curse over him. And all of a sudden he got a little bump on the inside of his lip. And, he was, that's the African curse, that's what happens. And literally within several months, when this man went back to check in with his doctor because he'd had a lip surgery done, and they didn't even recognize him when he walked in the office. He dropped 30 pounds. He literally aged like 20 years, like for real. And
you know, when he was explaining to the doctor, and the doctor took a look at his lip, and he said, you know, that's just some scar tissue from the surgery. I can remove that within 30 minutes. He did. The best part is the man believed that he didn't have that curse, and in not too long of a time, the doctor got a letter and stuff from this man, and he was married, went home, married his high school sweetheart, and he literally was like 20 years younger again, and the same strong man that the doctor used to know, because he believed in the power of belief. You know, you take a hypnotist, same thing, right? They'll take a football player. You've all seen this, right? We watch it and go, oh my God, that's so amazing. The hypnotist, no, he's not amazing at all. It's science. They'll take a football player, a very strong person, and tell him that he cannot remove his hand from the table. Now, it's not that he's not able to remove his hand from the table, but now those thoughts have been put in his head, and he believes that he can technically go to move his hand, lift his hand, but he literally cannot remove his hand from the table because he is bought into those hypnotic, not even hypnotic, those belief thoughts. Same thing with a, you know, world-class weightlifter. You know, I'm talking about specific things. Examples, you can see this on YouTube. You know, he's told he cannot pick up a pencil. And guess what? He's not able to pick up a pencil. You know, and they take one of the world's strongest men who is able to do that machine where you can squeeze it and it tells you, you know, how strong you are. And he's able to do 100 pounds. Well, but he's never done more than 100 pounds. Well, then you have the reverse of that. So he's actually hypnotized himself to believe that the most he can do is 100 pounds. And that's what he can do, right? And, you know, all of a sudden the hypnotist, and from the other way, says, you're the strongest man in the world. You can do much more than that, right? And guess what? He blasts through that 100, you know, meter barrier. Look at the 4-minute mile. For years, you never break a 4-minute mile. Nobody will ever run a 4-minute mile. It's not possible. It's not possible. So nobody could break a 4-minute mile. And then comes along Bannister, and he crushes the 4-minute mile. Guess what? All of a sudden, there's all these people that can run a sub 4-minute mile because now they believe it. They believe it. They can actually run a 3-minute mile now. I believe maybe even a sub 3. I'm not sure. But because they can believe it. I used to do the same thing, right? Dude, I'm a sprinter. I'm no good at long distance. I'm not able to run long distance. I actually hate long distance. I said that for years, and guess what? I couldn't run long distance. I hated long distance. You know, I wasn't, right? And then one day I figured this out, and I was like, you know what? I can tell myself that I can run long distance, and I will be able. This is when I started to discover this and learn this. And I literally every day said, you know what? You're an amazing long distance runner. You're great at long distance. You're fast at long distance. And I literally spoke myself into it. And guess what? I ran a 6:32 mile. 6:32 mile. I went from running barely running a 15-minute mile, right? Because I continually told myself what I couldn't do, to running a 6:32 mile and liking running long distance. You know, 3 or 4 years ago, I got up on New Year's Day and I said, I'm going to run 90 minutes a day for the next 90 days. And I started running marathon. I just get out and run a marathon just for fun on a day, right? You know, same thing, you know what, for years, and I still do it, and I got to change it, but it's funny. You hear me say all the time, I'm not good at math. I failed Algebra 11 3 times. You know what? Because that was put in me that I wasn't good in math, right? So the reality is, guys, we have everything we need right now, right inside us, to do anything we want. We just got to start believing it. Because right now, whether it's like if we look in the mirror, I'm not good at enrolling people. I don't know how to find wellness partners. You know what? I'm not good at sharing my story. I'm not good at Facebook Lives. Hello? How many of y'all keep telling yourself that? I'm not good at public speaking. I don't, all of those things that we're telling ourselves, you're literally hypnotizing yourself into a belief that you aren't, and you won't, and you're not. And guess what? You won't. And so you got to reverse the process and start speaking life, for lack of better words, start hypnotizing yourself into what you want to be and what you can be and what you deserve to be. Stop hypnotizing yourself, because that's really what you're doing, right? As a fitness trainer, I learned this many years ago. That's why I like to listen to my personal growth and my audiobooks. And that's why I do my worship time. That's why I do my personal growth. That's why I do my audiobooks. All of that when I'm working out. Because within 20 minutes of working out, you become in a very, very receptive state of hypnosis. Very. And trainers and coaches that understand this, like somebody shared with me a long time ago, Réal, you have a gift, which you all do, by the way. You just haven't believed in it yet. You're telling yourself you don't. You're telling yourself you're not important. You're telling yourself you're average. You're telling yourself you're not good at this, right? Well, you need to start telling yourself you are, because I'm telling you, you are, okay? But he said to me, he said, Réal, you have a gift, a very powerful gift. And I received that. I didn't go, no, I don't. No, I don't. I received it. That's huge, champions, because I'm telling you this all the time. Am I not? I'm pointing out your different gifts. I'll believe in you till you believe in yourself. I'm saying it to you all the time. And are you not, for the most part? No, that's not right. No, I'm not. Under your breath, inside your head, right? Come on now. Just keeping it real. I'm trying to help us, right? Okay, you need to say thank you. You're right. I am. How many of y'all have problems saying thank you? Just thank you. Dude, don't rob people of their victory to bless you, because that's what you're doing. All right? So, when he said to me, you have a gift, Réal, you can do good with it, or you can do evil with it. All right? So, and a lot of coaches and trainers who understand the power of hypnosis, right? When you're in a class, and here's what's even worse, if they don't understand it, and you got one of these coaches that has a negative attitude, right? Cindy, if you think about it, right? Me and Cindy go way back. But I've always, even when I was crazy and yelling and screaming, but I was always coming from a place of positivity. You can do this. You've got this. I didn't even realize it back then, but I was speaking hypnotically into them. Because when they were grinding and they were working out and all of that, just like, how many people, they go work out and they listen to crap, dude. They put this bullshit music on in their head. Yo, end this, mow this, boom, 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 F your mother, let's get laid, ooh, I'm sexy, shake your booty, Rudy, Rudy, Rudy. And you're subliminally hypnotizing yourself with that crap. Right? I like big butts. I like big butts. Really? No wonder you got a big ass. Seriously, guys. Right? I mean, people, listen, let me tell you something. Hitler understood the power of hypnotic influences through music. Do your research. He understood it. He got it and he used it, right? So it's very, very powerful, champions. And be very careful of what you're listening to. Be very careful of what you're putting in your heads. Do not waste the opportunity when you're working out. You know what? I mean, honestly, dude, just keeping it real, this is how I roll in the morning. I start with worship music. I do most of my workout through worship music and personal growth and audiobooks, okay? And then in the last 30 minutes or maybe an hour, depending how I'm grinding, then I put my music on, man. I put my techno. I put my, I like rock and roll. I like reggae. But it ain't got no N words in it. It ain't got no F words in it. It ain't got no negative connotations. It ain't talking about women in bad ways. It ain't talking about, none of that stuff. I will not listen to any of that kind of stuff. Your brain is a computer. What you download is what you will become, right? And those of us that have parents, dude, come on now. Stop letting your kids listen to that music. You're not going to be able to stop them when they're out on their own, but please don't let them listen to that in your presence and then get upset when girls get raped, when boys do stuff that's not inappropriate, when they do crazy stuff, and then you don't get it, but you're letting them listen to music that says, do this to women and hit me like this and hit it hard and suck this. And I mean, dude, come on, man. I'm going off on a whole tangent now, but it all's related to hypnotic states, man. And where you are and where you're not, right? If you don't like where you are, stop telling yourself you deserve that. Stop telling yourself, I come from the other side of the tracks, I'll never be better. Stop telling yourself, my dad left me when I was 3, and so that means that I'm, not worthy and stuff like that. Come on now. Dude, my dad left me when I was 3. I live in a white world. There'll always be racism, right? You know what I'm saying? I grew up on the other side of the tracks, never had a house. I literally lived in apartment to apartment. I don't think we ever lived in an apartment for more than a month. And looking back at it, you know why we didn't live in an apartment for a month? Because my mom was always moving because she couldn't afford the bills. Right? So I could be living in that world right now. If you look at in society right now, the average person that grew up in my world is still living in that world. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Right? We have a choice. I, from a young age, don't ask me how, probably because my dad taught me no such word as cant. My mom taught me don't dream, dream big. I never lived in the world that I lived in. I only started talking about growing up and from the other side of the tracks and all of that now. Recently, past years when I could look back and realize, but when I was in it, I wasn't in it. I was in the big house on the hill. I was in the successful actor in Hollywood. I was winning a gold medal in the Olympics. I was, I didn't win a gold medal, right? But I failed at that, but it's okay. I don't, whatever. And all the skills I took, right? You see that, guys? So there's a lot of power in that, champions, all right? I love you. Let's go out there and crush it. Become your best hypnotist. All right? You don't need to be no cool person. A hypnotist ain't nothing special. They just understand the power of belief and not belief. All right? I love you guys. Let's do this.
Whew, there you go, champions. You have it. You do have the power, guys. You've got the power to start speaking life over yourself. Stop speaking death over yourself. Once again, this is Coach Réal. I'm your host of Getting Real with Réal Andrews. We appreciate it if you subscribe to our podcast, leave a comment and or a rating on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you like to listen to your favorite podcast. We really do appreciate that. That makes a huge difference, bumps up our podcast. More people can hear it and we can change more lives. So thank you for sharing this with your friends. So with that said, I am out of here. Make the rest of the day an amazing day. I'll believe in you too. You believe in yourself. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram, Twitter, all my social media at Réal Andrews. So now I'm out of here. Make the rest of the day the best of the day. I'll believe in you too. You believe in yourself. Take care. God bless. Boom.